Let me tell you a story. Once upon a day, time and place, there was a company, or a small branch of a company to be more exact. This company had proficient employees, and they were managed by a branch manager called Mr. Ibrahim. One day, Mr. Ibrahim was sitting in his office working. Suddenly, the door opened and Mr. Shokry entered. Mr. Shokry is the manager of the manager of the manager of Mr. Ibrahim. Not only that, but he is also the owner of the holding group that owns the company. Mr. Ibrahim, of course, became anxious and worried, and was overtaken by this sudden visit and wondered about the reason. Mr. Shokry sat down and asked Mr. Ibrahim to call the company's employees to an urgent meeting because he wanted to see them immediately. Without hesitation, Mr. Ibrahim went in the blink of an eye to call the employees. Here, ladies and gentlemen, was the surprise. Of course, all of you think that the employees gathered before Mr. Shokry immediately, but what happened was a bit strange. The first employee told Mr. Ibrahim, "I'm sorry, but I'm busy with important company tasks. I'll come after I'm finished." The second employee told him, "In truth, I don't feel like I want to see him right now, Mr. Ibrahim. When I feel like I want to meet him, I'll talk to him." The third employee said, "No, Mr. Ibrahim, I'm afraid to go. I fear that he would hold me accountable for my frequent absence or work slackness." The fourth employee did not even respond because he was not free. He was busy with an exciting game of PUBG. If he had left it, he would have lost his rank. You can of course imagine Mr. Shokry's reaction when he found that they didn't come and when he heard their excuses. "You're outright fired." This was of course an expected outcome, right? And all of you are of course baffled by the employee's behavior, and you consider it a crazy behavior, right? The truth is that many people around us exhibit this behavior, but with someone far more important than Mr. Shokry, with the Almighty Allah, and to Allah applies the highest similitude. Allah, who created the heavens and the earth, created us, supplied us with sustenance, and overwhelmed us with His blessings. Allah summons us to stand before Him at certain times of the day, Allah. Despite this, some people refuse to stand before Him using excuses similar to those we've just seen. Some people are just busy with other things, such as their work, study, children's responsibilities, etc. Even though these things are, of course, important, they are, of course, not as important as responding to Allah's summons. Some people argue that they can't feel the submissiveness or the spirituality in prayer, so they stop praying temporarily or permanently until they attain such submissiveness. A third type of people say they are slacking in their relationship with Allah by, for example, having certain sins that they can't stop. So they can't stand before Allah with such sins, therefore they stop praying. On the other hand, there are gentlemen, princes, who can't go stand before the Creator because they are lazy or because they are busy with anything whatsoever. These excuses make us ask ourselves a very important question. Why do we pray? No, not why aren't we praying? No, that's another question. Why do we pray? It is true that prayer is a tree, and this tree has fruits. We all know them, such as forgiveness, increase of good deeds, fulfillment of supplication, relief of distress, and more and more. But before all of this, there is something that is more important that makes us pray. It is responding to Allah's summons. Allah is summoning you to stand before Him, whether you're busy or not, ready or not, feeling submissive or not. It's true that you are not going to obtain the fruits of prayer unless you pray with submissiveness. But we're talking here about the fact that there isn't any excuse that can justify your refusal to respond to Allah's summons. Because your non-response to this summons simply means that you're not interested. Don't care. Allah sent you a summons, wants you to come now, talking like someone busy, but you, don't care. That is why fornication, theft, usury, drinking alcohol, and all of these wrongdoings are lesser than abandoning or neglecting prayer. Ponder with me what the hadith of Prophet, PBUH, says about disbelievers. The covenant between us and them is prayer, so if anyone abandons it, he has become an infidel. This means that he has made prayer the dividing line between belief and disbelief. Does this mean that anyone praying is a person without flaws and is assured of entering heaven? Of course not, but the abandoning of prayer is alone enough to waste your future, this life and the afterlife. Just as the employees were fired because they didn't respect their manager and refused to go meet him, regardless of how good their other deeds were or how good their ethics are. The prayer caller, Muezzin, summoning us to stand before Allah, the first thing he says is, Allahu Akbar. Allah is greater. And the first thing said by the one who is praying is, Allahu Akbar, Allah is greater. This means that Allah is greater than anything in your hand right now, and greater than all of your concerns, worries, and sins. Come now. Respond to Allah's summons. Go to Him. Even if you're full of sins and flaws, strive against yourself to perceive the reward for responding to His summons. I came to you, Allah, in response to your summons. You'll find yourself feeling submissive while standing before Him, and, Allah willing, you'll obtain the fruits of the greatest worship in Islam.